Hi and welcome. Today I want to talk about emotional eating and how to take control of your emotions. So, I'm going to talk about this a little bit different than most people are talking about it because I have a different approach to actually taking control of my emotions, and I'm going to explain how to do it very shortly. So, a concept that we as a society we're doing this constantly, all of us probably, but we're not really aware of that we are doing it, is that we are making plans in our lives for how we're going to eat, who we're going to see, what party we're going to go to. And a lot of these things are things that we don't actually want to do. We we're doing them because we don't want someone else to be upset, or we do them because we think that it will be good for us, but we don't really want to do it. And the only reason that we are making these plans are because we know that we can escape with food. So I might find it tolerable to do some sort of work that I don't enjoy because I can use food as comfort and to dull my emotions and just keep me sane because I really don't enjoy doing this task. So rather than finding things that I enjoy, excuse me, rather than finding things that I enjoy doing and that will give me satisfaction from doing the things in themselves, I will just go to food and stuff my face and think it's not so bad because I can eat at the same time and I can focus on the eating and get shit done anyway. So ask yourself, first of all, like, what in your life feels intolerable? And what part of your life are you trying to escape from? Is there something in your life that you really, really don't like doing? Something that will create maybe resistance and restlessness, and all of this will lead to you seeking out food to comfort yourself. Can you nail any of those down? And if you can, just have a look at what they are and how you could maybe change those. Because they are always going to be there. So you need to change something in order for you to not have this reaction. So that is a good start, but that is not what I'm going to talk about today anyway. But take a moment to really think about this. If your life is not tolerable without, God, without stuffing your face with food, then it's actually going to be almost impossible for you to quit sugar or whatever type of food that you are overeating. One thing that we often do is that we are changing our sugar addiction for another addiction. So someone might quit sugar and they think, wow, I really did it, I quit sugar. But then they took up the habit of drinking, or they're spending all day on Facebook scrolling, or they just want to watch Netflix all day long, hours and hours on end, to escape this emotional pain, whatever is causing it. It doesn't have to be pain, it can just be boredom or restlessness. Or I used to think that emotional eating was just people that were really depressed and they were upset, but I discovered that I'm actually eating emotionally because for me, my feeling that creates my need to go and open the fridge and try to find something in the kitchen is restlessness. That's my big thing. So restlessness and boredom for me are the two things that will make me go out into the kitchen and have a look. Somehow it's uncomfortable for me to sit and do nothing a lot of the time. I have this drive to learn more or read more or listen or do something, be productive. And I've always had that. So just try and find out what are the feelings that you're actually trying to escape from, and Do we need to change what we're thinking about this? Do we need to change the circumstance? What's going on here, and why are you doing it? Right, so now I'm going to give you a different type of tool that I'm not sure if you've come across before, but you need to learn to manage your emotions. So I've talked about how to allow your cravings in the past, and we need to extend this into other emotions as well. So if you're not willing to feel your emotions, you will feel a need to escape those negative emotions that you don't want to feel. Because if you're not having a way of escaping them, you will have to feel them. So just think about that. Are you willing to feel those negative emotions? Or do you have a way of escaping them? It doesn't necessarily have to be food. It can be something else that you tend to do over and over again whenever you're feeling those emotions. I suspect that food of some kind is your problem if you're watching this channel. So what I want to teach you today is how to feel your feelings, your negative feelings specifically, on purpose. I'm also going to talk about positive ones, but I will do a part 2 for that. So first of all, you need to be present with yourself. And when you start feeling a feeling that will usually lead to you wanting to eat emotionally, or any type of feeling that you're not comfortable with, stay present with it and note that it's there, acknowledge that it's there, and just allow it. Don't try to do anything, just observe what's going on and how that feels. So the best way of getting these feelings to appear are obviously don't eat the sugar. Just stay away from it, and they are going to bubble up to the surface pretty quickly, I promise you that. So if you want them to appear so that you can practice, just leave the sugar and wait for them to come up. Wait for all this drama in your head to come up. And now, so the first step is for you to start feeling and become conscious of what feeling it is. But you need to have a willingness to feel all types of feelings. So whether that is pain, frustration, boredom, you name it, cravings. So be willing to feel and then invite that emotion. Because now you want it there. You want to explore it, what it's like. And you just let it sit in your body. And then you try to describe it in detail. So imagine that you have a child that doesn't really know what emotions are. And you're going to tell them what it's like. How would you describe this to this child? So that could be, for me, if it's anxiety, I could say it's tension up here in my solar plexus, right by my sternum, and it might be that you get shortness of breath, you might get tension in your neck, whatever it is that you're feeling. All these little things, all these details, try to get as many of them as possible down on a piece of paper so that you can remember what they are. So the easiest way of doing this is actually to almost like step out of yourself and observe what is going on. So rather than being caught up in your head and thinking, oh my God, I don't want to feel this is uncomfortable, just observe what's going on and what physiological response that is creating in you. Okay, and now, so this is the fun part, or not. You have to memorize these feelings and how it felt so that you can recreate this feeling at any point. You might think that this sounds crazy because obviously you don't want to have the negative feelings and you might be trying to do anything to get away from them, but we want to recreate them. So just stay with me. I promise you this is actually quite magical. It's hard work, but once you can do it, you will get so much benefit from it. I promise you that. So you want to be able to recreate this feeling, because what is happening is when you feel pretty good, you can just sit there and you can recreate anxiety. So you just feel this tension in your stomach and maybe the tension here. You start breathing more quickly. And since you have created that emotion, you can also get rid of it. So what it allows you to do is to control your negative emotions. You know how they work, you know exactly what bodily response you get from them, and therefore you can also decrease them. And you can practice this when you're feeling anxious, for example. You can practice almost multiplying how it feels and just intensify it to make it worse. And if you can make it worse, you can also make it less. So we don't want to get rid of them, but we want to be in control of them. Because if you have a useful amount of anxiety, that might actually function as motivation for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, but you can actually on purpose, once you learn how to control this bodily response, be in control of that negative emotion. So it's extremely useful because when you are in control of your emotions, you can obviously choose to feel whatever you want, whenever you want. So I'm going to talk about I wanted to keep this video fairly short because I've been making a lot of long videos. So I'm going to talk about how you can use this on the positive emotions as well. But until the next video, just whenever you get an unconscious negative emotion, just sit down and try to just write it down, everything that you're feeling, and describe it in as much detail as you possibly can. This might not be very easy the first time you do it, but you are going to get better at it. The more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. And then make a point of practicing it. You can even schedule it into your calendar. Just take 5-10 minutes to try and recreate this feeling, and then you can decreate it again, so that you just know how to create it and then how to get rid of it again. So good luck with that. If you have any questions, just leave a comment. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do that. The more subscribers we have on this channel, the more reach we're going to get and the more people are going to benefit from this. So it would be awesome if you could do that. If you want to connect with me on Facebook, you can either follow me or join my Facebook group. I have all the links in the description. So I will see you again for the next video. Thank you.